All right, Qam Yasharahla. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to you, Qam, or just pushing the truth in love and sincerity and in charity with all humility. Okay, this is the brother Yashawan from the GMS Bombers Camp. Back at you with another brief lesson. Okay, another Monday Night Live. All right, the name of this title is Keep an Even Balance. Okay, keep an even balance. All right. Now, for us, Akim in this truth, all right, who have various jobs, okay, various things going on with us. Okay, you may have a brother working 2 and 3 jobs. Okay, a brother may have 1 or 2 businesses. All right, a brother may be dealing with a whole lot of different things at the same time. Okay, but the goal is to keep an even balance through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Right? Because if you don't have balance, then you have not enough for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You don't have enough to be found worthy. Okay, so you may be going hard, every day or all day or all week for whatever you got going on. All right, but just remember, the same hardness you going hard for, you gotta go hard for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, so according to Romans chapter 12. All right, let's just get that. Okay, according to Romans chapter 12, we see that every brother was given a measure of faith. Okay, some brothers may have more than others. All right, this is Romans 12 and uh, okay, 3. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as the Most High hath dealt to every man the measure of faith. All right, so the Most High give every man a portion, okay, as he dealeth with them. Okay, like I said, some may have all kind of stuff going on, but at the same time, they would find balance. They would find time for the Lord. Okay, but if you was a brother who may be working in a day, okay, or every day, but in the evening time, you should not find time to be idle. All right. Yes, you may be a little tired. Okay. Yes, you may have the Lord on your mind, on your heart, or be meditate throughout the day while you wake. Okay. But at the same time, when you get off, all right, this is when that devil creeps in. So you want to pick up the book, okay, go into the words. Once you go into the words, that tiredness, the weariness, that go away. Okay. So once you go into the word, you would what? You would find time. You're making that time now for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay. By this time now, the devil will flee. Okay. Because now that you've given the Lord that time, you're finding the balance. Now, the Lord's time isn't like our times. Okay. As his thoughts are not our thoughts, and his ways are not our ways. Okay, you may say, oh, I waken 8 hours a day. So that doesn't mean that you have to give the Lord 8 hours. All right. See, the thing is that, right, you're putting in time for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, right? And when you are reading, okay, and studying, all right, you may go on 3 hours, 2 hours, right, as the Lord give it you. You see, the Lord knows that you have to wait. The Lord knows that you have to eat. The Lord knows that you have to take take care of your family. Okay, so that's why I say your time. The Lord time isn't like our time. His ways are not like our ways. Okay, so Romans 12:3. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, with an open heart, right? According as the Most High had dealt to every man the measure of faith. Okay, every man the Most High deal with differently. Okay, you may put more on others because they can handle it. All right, but it's the same spirit, the same faith. Okay, all right. Uh, I can shoot down to verse 6 to say, having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us. You see that? Whether prophecy, let us prophesy or prophesy according to the proportion of faith. Or this is given that the Most High had given you a gift to prophesy, to tell the people, thus say Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, to repent. Tell the people that a World War III is coming, is imminent. To tell the people that, yeah, the RFID microchip is Esau Edom, the devil mark. And they tell you not to take it. Okay? Tells you about wars and rumors of wars. All right? This is prophesying. Reading out of this book, out on the highways and byways, okay, letting our people them know. Look at, hey, stop doing fool. Stop sinning. Okay? Because everything would look right ain't right. Everything would look correct isn't correct. Just like how you would look at a man, or the people in the world would look at a man a man that is not shaped up, right? They will say that ain't right. But whereas they look at a man that is shaped up and clean shaven, they will look at that is right. When it's opposite, according to the laws of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Right now, the man that isn't shaved, he can keep himself groomed. Okay, is here you don't have to have it here this way, that way, like the shovel. Okay, but he can groom it. All right. So yeah, man. Keep an even balance. Okay, keep an even balance with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. This is Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 26, 36 a lot. It says just balances, just weights, a just ephah and a just hin shall ye have, for I am Yahweh your power, which brought you up out of the land of Egypt. So you see that the Lord is saying everything is just, it's got to be balanced. Okay. And when you read some different translation, it will tell you, break it down even more clearer for you to understand. Okay, I can see if I can get a different translation. This is the New American Bible. They say Leviticus 19 and 36, right? Well, let me take it at 35. Okay, they say, do not act dishonestly in using measures of length or weight or capacity. You see that? Do not be dishonest, or do not act dishonest. Right? You shall have a true scale and true weights, an honest ephah and an honest hin. I, Yahweh, am your power who brought you up out of the land of Egypt. Okay, so with you being balanced, showing you that you being honest with everything in your daily life, dealing with everything. All right, even when it comes to this work, okay, you have to be honest with yourself. All right. You want to be like if you waking, all right, and you know that hey, you haven't putting in work, you haven't been reading, you haven't been studying, you haven't been doing no lessons, all right. You gotta be honest with yourself to say, you know what, I falling off. Okay. I ain't read the scriptures all week. All right. I haven't picked up the book. I've been dealing with myself straight through. I have so much different jobs. All right. It was overwhelmed. Okay. Now you got to be honest with yourself and look here. Say, you know what? I got to get right. I got to be right with Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay. You got to be basically hot. Okay. According to the measure of faith that the Lord has given you. Now the Lord ain't going to give you this thing and then you just have it just to say you have it. You be like the one that when the Lord give talents to and give that one talent and he take it and put it down in the ground. You don't want to be that one. Okay? So you have to use this as the Lord give it you. You got to keep it balanced. All right? Because the Lord knows that you have to work in order to take care of your family, in order to eat. Okay? In order basically to use the world. The Lord know these things. But at the same time, he giving you this gift. All right, you got to keep it balanced. Okay, let's get Ezekiel chapter 40, uh, Ezekiel chapter 45. All right, on verse 10. All right, I'm not going to make it too long with this lesson. All right, the Lord will it'll be edifying. Okay, uh, this is Ezekiel 45, and I'll take it at. Let me start at verse 9. It says, thus said Yahweh power, let it suffice you, O Prince of Israel, remove violence and spoil and execute judgment and justice. Take away your exaction from my people, say the Lord. Ye shall have just balances and a just ephah and a just bath. Okay? The Lord is telling you to look at the be balanced. Okay? That's what the Lord is telling you to be balanced. Okay, if you're putting in work for this devil, you should be able to balance it off by putting in work for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, and the Lord balance isn't like our balance. All right, because you can look at the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 8, chapter 28, Salah. All right, from 1 to 15 is the blessing, and from 15 on down to 68 is the curses. Okay, so the thing about it is that the curses and the blessings, that's balance. All right. This is Ezekiel 45 and 10 in the New American Bible. It say, you shall have honest scales, an honest ephah, and an honest liquid measure. Okay, basically you being honest with yourself. All right, in anything what you do. Okay, you have to be honest. You got to give the Lord his portion. You can't just want to do everything what you want to do and still have this word. It doesn't work like that. All right. Okay. You have to be weighed in the balance. Just as Job said. Okay. This is Job 31 and 6. He said, let me be weighed in an even balance. This is why I say keep an even balance. Right? Let me be weighed in an even balance, that the Most High may know my integrity, having an honest balance. Okay? You're doing the work. All right. You ain't being idle. You're taking time out for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. As the Lord giveth to every man the measure of his faith. Okay? Because the Lord already chose his elect men from before the foundation of this earth. Okay? And each elect man is a soldier. He's a good soldier. All right? He didn't take a man to be, he didn't choose an elect man to be carnally minded, but spiritually minded. Okay, now we were once in this world. Okay, we were once carried away with these damn idols. All right, but through the power and spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, all right, by way of the apostles on GMS, apostles on GMS on YouTube, we are being waking up through the apostles and elders. Okay, and through their elders. All right. So now that you come in and you learn about yourself, you learn the truth. Okay, now you got to find balance. Okay. See, because now that you know who you are, you know what to eat, what not to eat, you know what to wear, what not to wear. You know what is right and you know what is wrong. Okay. The scripture say to him that do it, that know it is wrong, and to do it to him that is sin. Okay, and you have a lot of brothers who in this thing, who in this truth, they know the sin that they do. They know a lot of wrong that they do, and they still go ahead and still do it anyhow. Okay, not filing the balance. Okay, not giving the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai what is due to him. To serve him in spirit and in truth. Okay, so you gotta have an honest weight. All right, and let's go to the New American Bible. Yes, here because you know you can see inside this an honest weight. All right, I haven't looked it up as yet, but I'm gonna look it right now inside this translation. Okay. All right. It doesn't say honest here, but it say let's what it say. Job 31:6. Let the Most High weigh me in the scales of justice. Justice really goes back to honest anyhow. Thus will he know my innocence. You see what he's saying? He know my innocence because why? You may be waking, right? But then when you come home, you put in 1, 2, 3 hours, you may feel that isn't enough, but that's what the Lord allow you to put in. You see, with you being honest with yourself and know that you work all day, you know, sometimes you may be tired, but then you still find strength to put in time for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Whether you're reading, whether you're looking up something, or whether you're going to cut a video. Okay, to you it may not be enough, right? But that's what the Lord giveth you to every man according to the measure of their faith. Okay, so you got to keep it an even balance. All right, let me read that back in the King James Version, Job 31:6. Let me be weighed in an even balance. Right, that the Most High may know my integrity. You see, and that's just it. Okay, see, you want to show Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai that you're serving him. Okay, because we know that the Most High hated at least a false balance is an abomination unto him. All right, so you can't be waking, doing what you want to do and other stuff dealing with in the world. All right, but not giving the Lord his time. Those of us who in this truth, who knows what time it is. Okay, so I myself, I have a lot of jobs I have to deal with. Okay, I have to work. Okay, working for a company and then working for yourself. All right, and then still filing the balance to give Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, finding that time. Okay, you know that you honest with yourself and you giving Yahweh Shem Yahushai, okay, what is due to him? As he given you. Okay, so this is Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is abomination to Yahweh, but a just way is his delight. You see that? A just way is his delight. Okay, let's see what I say here. All right, a just way is his delight. Okay, this is Proverbs 11:1. False scales are an abomination unto Yahweh, but a full weight is his delight. You see that? A just weight. You see, you're doing this work in sincerity and charity with all humility. Okay? You ain't holding back because you have this job, that job, all right, because you may be doing other stuff. Okay, but you're still gonna find time to serve Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And that's what it's all about. Okay, you can't be going hard for Esau or Edom, the so-called white man, even the Jake who you wait for. You can't be going hard and going hard. But then when it comes to the Lord, you won't give the Lord 15, 20 minutes or 1/2 hour. All right? And that's only probably one day or the week. All right? What happened to the whole week? Okay? Did you put in time to read? If not, you put in time to read, then the Lord should give you, then the Spirit of the Lord would give you a lesson to do, to cut. What about that? You see? So you find time now to say you're doing some research, you're doing studying. So where's the video? Where's the works? You see what I'm saying? All that should prompt you to do a video to edify and elect, the elect out there. This is why we do these videos, to edify each other, to build up each other. So you got to keep it. You got to keep it even. Okay, you got to keep it even. All right. Let me shoot the Proverbs 20. Okay, 20 and 23. All right. See, divers wait are an abomination unto Yahweh, and a false balance is not good. Okay, a false balance is not good. All right, so you gotta have an even balance when it comes to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, this person say what? Cattle, verse, verse, verse. So like if I pronounce that wrong. Oh, hello from North Korea. All right, North Korea. Okay, I think that's King Jong Un. You really from North Korea now? Oh, well, we have Israelites scattered all through the four winds. Okay, Israelites are scattered all through the four winds. Okay, and wherever you are, all right, and this lesson may be for you. You got to find a balance, okay, to serve Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That is the name of our power. If you're an Israelite, that is the name of our God. Okay, our Father, his name is Yahweh, means he is self-exists. He had no beginning nor end. Okay, and his son, whom the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, his name is Yahweh Shai. Okay, means he is the deliverer, and he is going to come back and save his people. He's starting off with the elect out of the nation of Israel. Okay, so you are hidden. All right, you are hidden, trying to escape. All right, if you be an Israelite, okay, if you be an Israelite, all right, and you believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushua and you take it heed, Okay, and you have faith, the Lord will deliver you. Okay, you got to show your faith by your work. You got to believe in Him. You got to believe in the Holy Scriptures. You got to believe in His Holy Son. That's how you will escape. Okay, and you got to keep it balanced. All right. See, Proverbs 20 and 23. Divers weights are an abomination unto Yahweh, and a false balance is not good. Okay, you see that? A false balance is not good. So the Lord ain't dealing with that. All right. Let's go to Daniel chapter 5 and verse 27. Okay. Daniel 5 and 27. Okay. You say, thou art weighed in the balance and art found wanting. Okay. This is what it say. Thou art weighed in the balance and found wanting. All right. Now, this is this right here. We don't tolerate this garbage. All right. You see how to block you. We don't deal with foolishness. Right now, this Esau. Okay. Because Esau, all right, he is the devil. Okay. Only him will come on the common board saying garbage like that. All right. We don't deal with faggotry, Esau. Okay. You hear me? We don't deal with faggotry. All right. And the Lord is gonna make sure I get you. Okay. You can serve your 1,000 years, a hard slavery. Okay. All right. You're gonna serve it double. But the scriptures say what? Reward afflicting double. So you get yours coming, Esau. All right. So back to the lesson. Daniel 5 and 27. Thou art weighed in the balance and art found wanting. Right? Now, let me see what the New American Bible say in Daniel chapter 5. Okay. Daniel 5 and 27. It says, tickle. You have been, which tickle means you have been weighed on the scales and found wanting. Right? Now, some other translation I wrote down, the CEB means that you're being weighed on the scales and you don't measure up. You see that? Why you don't measure up? Because why? You haven't been balanced. Okay, you ain't giving the Lord enough time. Okay, you ain't giving the Lord enough, so the Lord ain't gonna find that your works are being enough. Okay, and you can look this up yourself. The ERV version said, "You are being weighed. You are being weighed on the scales and found not good enough." You see what I'm saying? Because Job chapter 31 tells you, weigh me down in the balance, in an even balance. Okay? That's what the Lord said. All right? See ya? It's a next flicking devil. All right? Okay? Say you are being weighed. This is the ERV version. All right? You are being weighed on scales and found not good enough. So you have to be balanced. Okay? You have to. Because if you're doing your work in this world, you got to do the work of the Lord as well. Okay, you got to give the Lord what is due unto him. All right, you got to. And like I said, going back to Romans 15, Romans 12, right, and 6, whereas the Lord give every man according to his faith. Okay, so yeah, Akim, Akwatium, right? You must continue. If you believe and trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you must continue to do his will. Okay, so as the scriptures say in Deuteronomy chapter 10, okay, chapter 10 and 12. Now, Israel, what do the Lord require thee but to fear Yahweh thy power, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yahweh thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul. Okay, you could do that, and you have to do it with you being having an even balance, okay, an honest way. Okay, so with that, all right, Lord will, this lesson was edifying. Okay, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Makakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to you, Akim, or just pushing the truth in love and sincerity and charity with all humility. Shalom and a Baba Paul. Qam Yasharahla.